This is checking on my worm bin and feeding it. This first layer is just bubble wrap, and it helps to keep the bin moist. This is what's left of a paper towel. They like to eat these. So I'll just move those out of the way. A little bit of cardboard. The first thing I like to do is just aerate the bin. Start in one area and just go to the bottom and check the moisture level. This is very moist, maybe a little too moist, but better more moist than not enough. Worms breathe through their skin, and their skin has to be moist in order for them to breathe. So this actually is probably pretty good. You can see all the worms in here. I should have stopped back over here. Look at this. Look at all those worms. They're wrapped around in the paper. I put some shredded paper in here the last time I fed. You can see there's quite a few worms in here. These are all red wigglers. That's all I have. There are other types of worms, but the red wigglers are the easiest to keep, according to most worm people. They don't tend to climb out of the bin as long as you keep them happy. Keep them fed, keep the moisture right, keep the temperature right. They stay where they're supposed to be. They're fairly small worms, but you can see this is a pretty good size one. Hopefully you can see that. This is a pretty good size one. It's all stretched out. So everything's looking real good. Wow, look at all of those. So a mature red wiggler has what they call a clitellum. It's that little thick band. You might can see it here. It's right there. It's kind of hard to see when they're stretched out. I could see it better before I picked him up. So the clitellum is where the egg comes from. Worms are both sex. They have male and female parts, but it takes two of them to reproduce. This one, maybe you can see the clitellum better right there. It's that little thick band. It's just a little bit there. It's a little easier to see now. Right there. So when the two worms get together, they will mate, and each will make eggs that will come out of their clitellum. So if you don't see that band, then it's a juvenile worm and not a breeding age yet. So there's the clitellum on that one. See, it's pretty distinguishable there. So we're going to be having some real cold weather tonight, so I wanted to check and make sure that there was enough substance in here, enough volume, that hopefully they won't get too cold. And I'm going to add some shredded paper on top. So when I feed, there's quite a few worms in here, so I'm going to give them quite a bit of a feeding. I kind of make a channel down the middle. And none of this is rocket science. These worms are going to survive no matter what you do. As long as you feed them and keep them the right temperature, they're going to be okay. They're pretty tough. So I reuse paper towels and tissues, little bits of paper. I shred paper to put in here, and I have a paper shredder that will handle cardboard. So you need one that'll take at least 12 sheets at a time, and then it will be able to handle cardboard. So what you see me putting in is chopped up pineapple, watermelon, bananas, banana peels, and I'm just laying it all in this trough. There's a big stem from the bananas that'll take a while for that to break down. But this other stuff, I chop it up. Sometimes I freeze it, and then it breaks down even faster because the freezing process breaks down the cell wall. Worms don't have any teeth, so the things have to be disintegrating before they can eat them. So along with the vegetables or fruits or whatever, I'm gonna add some grit. Worms don't have teeth, so they need grit, which would be oyster shells, or in this case, pulverized eggshells. If I have coffee grounds, I add that. A lot of times I don't have them because they're real hard to find now. Oops. Break that up a little bit. They're sticky because they're old. It's getting harder and harder to find coffee grounds. Places don't save them anymore. And this is a worm chow. It is a faster food, meaning that it's going to break down and be available faster to the worms. This is something that I made. It's made out of cornmeal, oat cereal, cornflakes, I think a little bit of oatmeal, just some things like that. That I went to the dollar store and bought a cheap box of cereal, oat cereal and rice cereal, or just whatever you can find like that. It's grains. They do well with grains. So now I'm going to cover this up again with some Kleenexes or paper towels or whatever. You don't have to, but they'll eat these. They like paper. Now I'm going to come back and cover all that up. And I'm going to add a little bit of shredded paper.